I have a couple of like very, very fond moments of Aaliyah. Oh, actually, more than that.
I love DMX.
For the physics. I tried to use phones here, what his nose.
A plane just after taking off for Florida in perfect weather suddenly plummeted to the ground. Investigators now saying one of the engines apparently failed. Along with 8 passengers, Aaliyah, a young Brooklyn native and a talented singer and actor.
Making happen, shit happens. Just make sure the flame you on is bigger than you carry on baggage. Make sure the flame you on is bigger than you carry on baggage.
DMX and Aaliyah, 2 legends whose names still echo through the culture. Their connection was special, deeper than most ever realized. Some people even whisper that it might have been more than friendship. But one thing's for sure, DMX was always loyal and protective of her, never crossing that line the way other industry men allegedly did.
I just know that was a murder. You know what I'm saying? That was a spiritual, whether people know it or not, because God don't kill people. You know what I'm saying? Whether people know it or not.
Now here's where things get messy. New reports are spreading that Jay-Z was furious behind the scenes. People close to the situation claim he was insanely jealous of DMX, and not just because of Aaliyah. X was running the entire rap game at that point. 5 albums in a row, debuted #1 on the Billboard 200. Nobody could touch him.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. Yeah, I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Meanwhile, Jay was going through a career identity crisis, unsure whether to retire or reinvent himself, and watching X dominate the charts had to sting. And then there was Aaliyah. Plenty of people in the industry have come out saying Jay-Z was absolutely obsessed with Aaliyah. But word is, she just wasn't into him like that. Instead, she built a tight, genuine connection with DMX, someone who respected her energy. And later, she started dating Jay's own business partner, Dame Dash. That must have stung hard.
I was always a fan of Aaliyah, you know, so it was like a pleasure for me. I was like, you know, you're damn right I want to be in it, you know, but we worked on the movie together, and, you know, we did the song, you know, and she was like a beautiful person, man.
Now, Jay's always tried to keep that cool, unbothered image, but behind closed doors, people say he was different. He had a jealous streak and a real need to control everything around him. Those who knew him back then claim he couldn't stand watching someone else live the life or get the woman he wanted, and Aaliyah was at the top of that list. But then came the tragedy that shook the entire world.
If you could get her back to say one last thing to her, what would you have said to her?
I have to say thank you. Thank you for the opportunities, you know, and thank you for the music, you know, and thank you for just being you.
Aaliyah, gone at just 22 years old after that mysterious plane crash in the Bahamas. To this day, fans say the story never fully made sense. There were way too many red flags, from the overloaded plane to the strange last-minute changes. People still believe her death deserves a second look. And who could forget when Mary J. Blige dropped that chilling statement, calling Aaliyah's death a spiritual murder? That's a strange way to describe a plane accident. Spiritual murder? Those words still hit different.
This is my own personal special tribute to Aaliyah. Here we go. Here we go. All right. This is Aaliyah. You know? And you know, it's my newest baby. And I named her after Aaliyah, you know, because that's how special she was to me.
Now let's talk about DMX, the man who survived the wildest chaos this industry could throw at him. He battled demons, fake friends, and record execs who only cared when the money was flowing. X was a fighter, no doubt about it. But when news broke in 2021 that he had passed away from a suspected overdose, the whole world stopped. Fans couldn't believe it, and some still don't. The whisper started almost immediately. People began questioning everything about his final days. There's even been talk online linking his addiction struggles to Leor Cohen, Jay-Z's longtime mentor and powerful figure behind the scenes.
Real quick, what do you think about Drake doing Aaliyah's posthumous album that's coming out and not involving Missy Elliott, Timbaland?
I mean, it just shows what I have said. Fucking piece of shit.
fucking like, motherfucker, you didn't even know this woman. You didn't even know that you were in middle school. Fucking.
So the question is, was Jay-Z just jealous of DMX? Or was there something darker going on behind the scenes? Was this all part of a twisted game of power and control that somehow ended with both X and Aaliyah gone too soon? The industry's full of secrets, and this one still gives people chills. Let's break it down.
I don't give a wanted to get away from your homie if you wanted to get away from your partner. But to do it the way he did it, it's malicious. But maybe that was because he was fucking the girl that didn't want you.
Oh.
Before her tragic death, Aaliyah had been connected to several big names in hip-hop, and not all of those relationships were strictly business. She and DMX worked together on the Romeo Must Die soundtrack, and their chemistry was impossible to ignore. In interviews, you could see how close they were, the way they looked at each other, the way they spoke. It was genuine, full of trust and respect. And when she passed away, it shattered DMX. He didn't just lose a collaborator, he lost someone who truly mattered to him.
It's time to talk hype. It's time for the public to ask you why Aaliyah couldn't get on Lenny Kravitz's plane. And you had to put her on that clown car plane. Who asked you to say that? And do yourself a favor before you make any statements. Please remember, I was out a little X, your apprentice. I know a lot more about you than you think I do. It's time for us to stop pussyfooting with the truth. It is time for Aaliyah Dana Houghton's death to be properly investigated.
In multiple interviews, X opened up about the pain, saying her death hit him in a way he couldn't even describe. It wasn't just grief, it was heartbreak. That's why he later did something incredibly touching. He named his daughter after Aaliyah. While most industry men seemed to have only one thing on their mind when it came to Aaliyah, DMX was different. He was protective. He treated her like family, not like a conquest. Even after she passed, when others in the industry tried to profit off her legacy, like Drake, who was criticized for using her vocals and image, X was one of the few who spoke up and called it out. He refused to let anyone disrespect her memory. Then came that heartbreaking moment in April 2021 when DMX himself passed away. Fans were shattered all over again, but one tribute hit especially hard. Aaliyah's mother, Diane Houghton, posted a touching message on Aaliyah's official Instagram account. Earl, you had and still have a heart of gold. You and baby girl will meet again with all the beautiful people we have lost. We'll never forget your kindness. Blessings to your family eternally, Aaliyah's mom. That post melted hearts across the internet. It showed how deeply DMX had impacted Aaliyah's family and how genuine his love for her truly was.
Emma Robinson to speak up about what she heard on that phone. It's time for somebody to be honest about who gave Aaliyah the pills that knocked her out before she was carried onto a plane she didn't want to be on. It's time for the other dancers who knew she was terrified to get on that plane to speak up. And it's time for Hype Williams to be officially questioned about why he made her get on that plane and why they forced her to do it unconscious.
And here's something that stands out. DMX was one of the only major male artists in the game who never had any creepy or predatory allegations tied to his name. Sure, he had his demons, arrests, addiction, chaos, but when it came to women, he stayed clean. That says a lot in an industry full of dark secrets. Now, when you flip the coin to Jay-Z, the energy changes completely. His name has been linked to all kinds of messy rumors. Foxy Brown, Aaliyah, Beyonce, even Kathy White. Plus those shady ties to R. Kelly and Diddy that fans still side-eye today. That rabbit hole goes deep, and some say it paints a picture that's far from the clean image he tries to keep.
Aaliyah was really scared to get on the plane to begin with. But apparently she was drugged and carried onto the plane. She had told everyone that she did not want to get on the plane. She fell asleep because she had a really bad headache, and then they just carried her onto the plane, even though she did not want to get on. It was said that she repeatedly told them that she did not feel comfortable. They handed her a sleeping pill, carried her onto the plane, and the rest is history.
Now, let's Let's bring the spotlight back to Aaliyah, because this part right here is wild. It's no secret that Jay-Z tried hard to win her over. Like, really hard. The two were photographed together multiple times between 1999 and 2000, and insiders claim Jay was obsessed. Word is, he couldn't even stand the idea of Aaliyah being with one of his rivals. That jealousy ran deep. But here's the truth. Aaliyah just wasn't feeling him like that. She saw through the charm and the fame. What makes it even weirder is that around that same time, Jay had already started talking to Beyonce. Yup. But according to folks who were there, Beyonce was allegedly the backup plan. Aaliyah was the bigger star back then, the one everyone wanted. She had that rare energy, confidence, mystery, and that soft glow that made her unforgettable. When Aaliyah rejected him and started dating Dame Dash, Jay's ego took a massive hit. That's when everything flipped. Suddenly, he put all his attention on Beyonce and made it his mission to turn her into the new #1 woman in R&B. But according to people close to the scene, Aaliyah was still standing in his way. She was already that it girl, and Beyonce's rise couldn't fully take off while Aaliyah was still shining.
But was that I had heard that Lenny Kravitz had offered her a jet and that Hype had took the jet. So that's what really pissed me off about the situation when I heard about that. So you could ask Hype about that.
That's what I said. Have you ever talked to Hype about it?
Yeah.
And how did that conversation go?
Ask her.
But I also am asking you.
Yeah, but ask her.
And if you believe what Jaguar Wright has said, Jay's motives may have been darker than just heartbreak. She's claimed Jay had more than one reason to want Aaliyah out of the picture. Part jealousy, part ambition. He allegedly wanted revenge for being rejected and wanted to clear the path for Beyonce to rise without competition. Then things took an even darker turn when Jaguar Wright dropped a bombshell in a more recent interview. She claimed that Jay-Z allegedly used legendary music video director Hype Williams to help orchestrate Aaliyah's tragic death. The claim sent the internet into chaos. Jaguar didn't stop there either. She went on to say that Fatima Robinson, Aaliyah's longtime choreographer and close friend, knows exactly what really happened in those final hours.
A competitive thing, but it was big love. He was so competitive with me. I never met a human being more competitive with me.
According to Jaguar, something about that trip to the Bahamas never added up. Both Hype Williams and Fatima Robinson reportedly left on a different plane the very next day, one that was safe and properly cleared for travel. Meanwhile, Aaliyah, exhausted, uncomfortable, and allegedly anxious about the small aircraft, was told to board a plane that already looked sketchy and overloaded. And when she reportedly refused to get on, things turned chilling. Jaguar claims Aaliyah was sedated and then carried unconscious onto the plane. And if all that wasn't suspicious enough, get this! Dame Dash later revealed that Lenny Kravitz, who actually had family in the Bahamas, offered Aaliyah his private jet to fly her back safely. But according to Dame, Hype Williams allegedly took that offer away from her and insisted she use the small, sketchy plane that was already assigned to her. That detail alone has fans furious even decades later.
Okay, I see what's really good. You're trying to eliminate the competition. You know, because at first you retire, you know, then get me off the label. Now you're back rapping again. Okay.
So yeah, there are way too many question marks surrounding Aaliyah's death. From the strange last-minute changes to the mysterious decisions made by people around her. Maybe it's all just coincidence. But with how dark and twisted the entertainment industry has proven to be, it's hard to ignore those red flags. Too many powerful people benefit from silence, and Aaliyah's story still doesn't sit right with so many fans. Now fast forward to DMX and things get even murkier. His passing raised its own suspicions. Some reports claimed foul play might have been involved, that the dealer who sold him what ultimately took his life may have been paid off to hand him something way stronger, or even laced. Fans online started digging deep, saying it felt too familiar, like history was repeating itself. And as for Jay-Z, not long after X's death, he popped up on LeBron James's show, trying to smooth things over, acting like their rivalry wasn't that serious. He called DMX too competitive, brushing off years of tension like it was nothing. But here's where it gets even deeper. It was never about DMX being too competitive.
You ever had a real bad drug problem, DMX?
I'm so sad. DMX, there's two people inside of him. And the Earl is one of the nicest people. I put him up in Lake George. Earl loved being silent with a fishing pole. I shit you not. He just would stay on that dock hours and hours and hours and hours. Yeah, very, very sad. You know, I think the opiate problem, the syrup problem, is the biggest problem that I've ever seen and I've ever faced, and been a part of. And I can't fuck with it. You know, the crack thing was devastating, but at least the rappers were bringing a spotlight to you becoming a fiend. Okay, and I thought that spotlight, head crack, helped, even though it was harsh and really really rough, particularly on women. But I think it helped change the course of the crack epidemic. I don't know what's this opioid thing, man.
But being a crackhead wasn't cool back then. Being a crackhead wasn't cool. Now they seem like they're making it cool to be drinking lean and syrup and.
It's the most dangerous. It's the most dangerous thing that's facing our society.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
Don't you think that's hypocritical though? You're saying the
it's
opportunistic.
Yeah. I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Who's Dame Dash? You brought him up. I don't even know him. So you bring his name up. I don't even know him. So
y'all made a lot of money together.
Made a lot of
money.
Come
on, Leo. Don't do that to him.
I don't know him. I really don't. So,
The truth, according to people close to the situation, is that Jay-Z didn't like competition at all. He wanted to be the only king on the throne. When he became president of Def Jam, DMX was already a certified legend. 5 back-to-back #1 albums, something no other rapper had done at the time. That kind of success made him unstoppable and dangerous to anyone chasing his spot. But once Jay took over, things changed fast. DMX publicly said that's when the label started sabotaging him, delaying the release of his 6th album, Year of the Dog. Again, meetings got lost, budgets went missing, and suddenly the same label that once pushed him to the top was dragging its feet. Fans started connecting the dots. Was this just bad business, or was someone trying to bury X's career on purpose? And then there's the Lyor Cohen factor, Jay-Z's mentor and one of the most powerful execs in hip-hop. DMX never trusted him, not one bit. He believed people like Lyor were the type to pressure artists into dark, compromising deals, all for control and profit. X refused to play those industry games, and that made him a problem for the higher-ups. Now, if you look closer at Lyor Cohen, the story gets even shadier. The man has been caught giving multiple different accounts about his own background and family history. On top of everything, there's the way Lyor Cohen played his cards behind the scenes, and people like Dame Dash have never been quiet about it. Dame has said for years that Lyor used classic divide and conquer tactics to break up Rockefeller Records, turning friends into rivals just to keep control of the money and the power. He's even called Lyor a straight-up culture vulture, more than once. And honestly, when you listen to Lyor talk, it's not hard to see why Dame feels that way. There was one interview in particular that made everyone's jaw drop. Lyor went on The Breakfast Club, pretending to sound sad about DMX and his battle with addiction, saying it hurt to see him struggle. But when Charlemagne Tha God pressed him with the question, then why do you keep signing artists who promote drug use in their music? Lyor's response was cold and telling. He basically admitted that he profits from the chaos. But it actually gets worse. Lyor Cohen was supposed to attend DMX's memorial on April 25th, 2021, but instead of showing up to pay his respects in person, he sent in a pre-recorded video message, and what he said shocked everyone. He talked about how no one was surprised that DMX allegedly overdosed, and then he had the nerve to refer to X as a gremlin. Like, seriously? At a memorial? Even if that was some kind of weird inside joke, it was completely out of line. That moment showed exactly how out of touch these industry figures can be. DMX was a legend, a man who poured his pain, his faith, and his truth into his music. He was so much more than the struggles the media tried to reduce him to. So for someone like Lior to say something like that, especially on a day meant to honor X's life, felt disrespectful beyond words. And when you step back and look at both Aaliyah and DMX, their stories start to connect in a chilling way. They were both surrounded by sketchy people, manipulative forces, and power-hungry insiders who seemed to use them even after they were gone. Two bright souls taken far too soon, and both caught in the middle of something darker than most fans will ever understand. So now I've got to ask you, what do you think really happened here? Is there more to Aaliyah and DMX's deaths than we've been told? And how deep do Jay-Z's fingerprints go in all of this? Drop your thoughts down below. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications because I'll be seeing you in the next video.